The guys are pulling 2 of our high-octane perforated pipes through all the sprinkler lines. You can see we got two perforated pipes. They're pulling them through all the sprinkler lines here. You can see the amount of water that's running. Look at the water that's just constantly running. The ground is saturated.
When you're trying to grab up spring water, you can't just run a piece of pipe right where the spring is pouring out water and then have a discharge line to the storm drain. It's going to move on you, so you got to cover more area.
So you can see the sidewalk. You can see how it's stained, and it's really slippery. That's from all the water running across the sidewalk and always pulling on the sidewalk. Obviously, there's some water coming from a spring on this yard, and it just runs constantly. It just never ends. We have it built up really nice. This is normal. When you have high ground and then you have water, groundwater coming out through a spring, it's going to come out and find the lower elevations and it's going to run out constantly. All right, so the guys, they cut the sod off with a sod cutter. They cut it as thick as they can so they can get all the root. That way this will grow over the French drain system. This is a double pipe system. We're not putting any of the dirt back in. We're trying to stop this spring from pouring water over the sidewalk year round. We're going to be able to grab that water before it finds its way to the sidewalk. The guys are using a double pipe system, 2 perforated pipes at the bottom of this trench. It runs the whole length. We're going to grab up all that spring water that runs 24/7, 365, and we're going to send it to the storm drain. Now this had to go under the sidewalk. The guys basically lifted this slab out and put it back in. You got to take your cement saw and you got to cut right along the expansion joint when you do that. They already did the tie-in. It's a beautiful system. So all this slime, this whole sidewalk is super slippery. It's just from water running for years. They haven't been able to figure out, you know, what it is, but it's gotten dangerous. You know, pedestrians are walking the sidewalk and it's unsafe. Right here where the spring was located, this is where it was the heaviest, and then it would run down the sidewalk because there's a lot of slope to the street that way. But this spring is right where Cal's at. It just keeps running and running, never stops. There's a lot of high elevation in this sub, so that water's draining from higher elevation, but it's draining through like a vein of gravel or sand. You can see when you look through the neighborhood, the elevation just keeps climbing and climbing, so that water's coming from higher ground. That's usually how the springs work. You got the water coming from higher ground. It finds a vein of sand or gravel. But keep your sod away from the side that you're working on. The guys are working on this side, so they have their sod cut and set over here, so they're not constantly driving on it with equipment, walking on it. You can see how the street goes up. So all that water that's running out of that spring is from that higher ground. A vein of sand or gravel, and it's traveling through that permeable soil. That's all it needs for a spring. And then this just ran 365, 24/7. Never put the dirt back in. You never want to put the dirt back in. You want to haul all that dirt away. You just want to fill this French drain in with good drainage stone. That way you can move the water efficiently. The system could take it in. So all that dirt that was in that trench, all of it, you can see it in this trailer. And this is a big 20-foot gooseneck dump 25,000 GVW for the guys that want to know that stuff. I highly recommend it. We run 2 of them. So the guys are grabbing up that spring, and they're gonna take this T. They want to make sure they catch all that spring water. And then they're going to tie it into the main that goes right to the storm drain. You can see how we got 2 perforated pipes, extra heavy duty. We got our extreme duty T. This is all you need. This is all you need to grab that spring water up. So we know that spring's causing a problem, like right here. I can show you, because of that spring, like you can't even walk right here. There's been areas of the yard that are really hard to maintain and they're unusable. This gentleman's going to get his yard back. All right, I want to show you the guy's handiwork. This is really nice. This is how the French drain starts. This is the starting point. The guys have 2 cleanouts. They're not quite a 90. We have this 4-inch solid cover that presses right inside. It's a nice press fit, no screws. Then the other one, we use a turf plate. That way you can never lose these cleanouts. This is where the system begins. You want to leave one pipe 18 inches longer than the other so that the turf plate doesn't get in the way with this other cleanout. You don't need 2 turf plates. You can do it. You can, put 2 turf plates on it if you want, but, we just put 1 because we want to be able to find them. And once we, see the turf plate and find the one, we know the other one is nearby. But this is the starting point. This is the clean out. If this system ever slows down and its performance seems to be falling off, then we know we got like a soil bacteria growing, like iron ochre. That's the proper way to start any French drain system right there, is with cleanouts on the line. If you ever have any issues, you can run a camera through there, do an inspection, see what's going on, and need be, chase it with a jetter. This is a beautiful job. You're looking at a French drain system to catch spring water. We're going to intercept the spring water. Whenever you have a spring, you want to do this. Now, that spring can move around. They usually do. So you want to make sure that you have enough French drain in to where as that thing moves around, it's not an issue. You don't have to come back and add pipe to it later. All right, so we're just going to run our pop-up right at the beginning of our French drain. That water's just going to run through the vein of stone, through the French drain.
If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. If you have any questions regarding this installation, leave them in the comments section. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.